today's episode of Let's Talk USC Women's Basketball, the podcast, we're joined by someone who's lived the Trojan journey from all angles. Assistant coach, Courtney Jaco. She won a Pac-12 championship as a player and has added both a Pac-12 championship and Big Ten title as a coach. Huge accomplishments that speak for themselves. But this conversation was more about just the accolades. We focused on her evolution behind the scenes, how she's building relationships, finding her voice as a coach, and connecting with a new generation of Trojans in a powerful, authentic way. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk USC Women's Basketball, the podcast. And I am excited to be joined by the assistant coach. I think the best assistant coach in the country, by the way, Courtney Jaco. Jaco, thank you for joining the show today.
Yeah, CC, anything for you, and appreciate you having me and everything you're doing for our game.
Appreciate that. I know we're on time constraints, so I want to get right into it. And I wanted to have you on the podcast. So one, people who don't know who you are, understand your journey, understand how you got from point A to point B, what you want to do in the future, and the differences between when you were a player and now a coach at the program that you played at. So I'm excited to ask you these questions and hear your thoughts and get your takes. And so I'm ready to go. And I want to start it out with Windward High School. I mean, you were a standout player at Windward. You guys were 32-1. You had over 400 threes in your career. Take me back to your high school days. What was your work ethic, your mindset, and just who you played with on that team, so on and so forth?
Yeah, I mean, feels like we're in a completely different game now, thinking back on it. But man, my high school days, what a great foundation for me. Um, Trying to improve as a player, trying to grow as a player, and just a student athlete. And Windward just did a tremendous job shaping, the individual that I am, not only on the basketball court, but also off of it as well. A lot of fun times, a lot of winning, and that was great. I think going into Windward, we were all challenged to take a small kind of private school
Yeah.
um, and make it really competitive with not only the likes of the really great teams in the LA area, your Long Beach Polys, your Mater Days, all those teams that have had a ton of success for a really long time in LA, but also through a national level. Playing in the Tournament of Champions in Phoenix was one of my favorite memories because you got to play against talent from all over. And so that was our challenge, going into it. And my freshman year, we couldn't get out of our small kind of private school, section. But as we grew and started to add a few players and really develop as a team, I think we took it to new heights. And shoot, by my junior year, we had, I want to say, eight or nine people that went on to play Division One basketball. It was um, just incredible to be around that much talent at such a young age. And I think it's something you probably take for granted because it's high school and it's fun and you're just playing with your friends and kind of low pressure in that way. But looking back on it, I'm like, man, we had so much talent, so much competitive depth. If someone had an off game, like, somebody could come off the bench and be that X factor. And so um, just a lot of fun when I think back on that. Probably the most memorable part is the relationships I have, not only with my teammates who um, were some of my best friends, are some of my best friends still to this day, but my coaches as well. Have great relationships with them, and they've been really great mentors to me and helping me through my collegiate journey too. But some of the players that stand out, and first Jordan Canada, she's
Yeah.
starting point guard for the Atlanta Dream, made my life so easy. Like I totally probably took that for granted, during the playing days of that, but um, just allowed me to do what I did best, which was shoot the ball, and her ability to change the pace of the game and find all of us where we wanted to get it, and also take over when she needed to, scoring wise. I mean, just
Yeah.
really incredible player. Kristen Simon,
Oh
I've
boy.
Kristen, she, I was 10 years old. And so we've known each other for a really long time, obviously played together at SC as well, but was just a dominant post player, undersized, but really, really strong, and just a key player for us on that high school team on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. Um, she was a little bit older than me. She was a senior in my junior year, but Imani McGee Stafford was also
Wow, I
a
didn't know
player
that.
that I played with. Yeah, she ended up going to Texas, played in the
Yep.
W for a little bit,
Yep.
is now practicing law and still playing overseas. So, like I said, so much talent, competitive depth, and it was just really, really good time. Obviously, a lot of winning, which was great. But the thing I probably remember the most and cherish the most is just the relationships that I still have.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I see Kristen all the time. She's doing her thing with her spoken word, doing, her hip hop adventures and so on and so forth. And
Yep.
boy, I remember just when you getting into SC and knowing that Kristen and you came to SC together, two totally different personalities, right? I mean,
Sure.
Kristen was, yeah,
To say the
Kristen,
least.
yeah, as far as high school, you know how kids are doing their private trainings today and their
Sure.
workouts and so on and so forth. Back then, when you played, did you guys focus on individual training or was it more of a team concept?
It wasn't as much of an emphasis as it is right now. The individual training part of it, it was probably a little more team focused.
Yeah.
But we had great coaches, and so my first 3 years, we had Steve Smith, who coached for a really long time in the high school scene in Los Angeles, but also spent some time with the Los Angeles Sparks as well as an assistant coach for a really long time. Um, and then my senior year, we had Vanessa Nygaard, who also was around the high school scene, in the college scene, and also had some time as a head coach in the WNBA as well. And so, yeah, it was very team focused, but we had incredible coaches with elite level experience and experience across all of the levels that we were all trying to reach. And so, while the individual, trainer aspect wasn't a huge focus, I still feel we got that development within some team concepts, which is really good by them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then you come to SC and you're immediately impactful. But I just want to bring this up. During your time at SC, like many players do, you faced some adversity. How did you work through that? And what was your mental process in going through the adversity that you went through at SC, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, I mean, I had great support around me, my family, first and foremost, which is the biggest reason why I decided to go to SC. I knew that I would have a built-in kind of support system to be able to handle, the highs and lows of college basketball. Um, and I'm small in my stature, and so I knew I had to be elite at a skill or two or three, to be able to see minutes on the court. I didn't know when that time would come, but I think my support system just continued to encourage me, pour into me, tell me to be patient. And I really think that those lessons have carried on into my professional career, not only playing, but also as a coach as well. And just had really, really great support around me, and couldn't have gone through that time kind of without them. And so, um, that part was huge, but also my assistant coaches were big. I mean, I had great relationships with Coach B, and
Yeah.
I still have to call her Coach B till this day. I can't even, although I guess we're colleagues now. That's gonna be, always be my coach. And um, her ability to teach me the basketball, but then off the court also try to bring in some life lessons have helped me a ton. Um, Coach D, who's also our strength
Yeah.
coach, was also my strength coach at this time. And boy, my freshman year, she'll tell you too, I came in probably 110 pounds maybe. And so
Yeah.
a lot of individual work before I even got to join the team just to get my body ready and get myself ready physically to join them. But conversations with her and just life lessons there as well kind of helped me along the way. So yeah, I mean, in short, just my support system, not only, from my family, but also my coaching staff as well.
Yeah. Now, while you were at SC, let's talk about some good things that happened, right? I got to get my paperwork because I want to make sure I get this right because there's
Oh
some
boy.
some facts that I'm going to bring up that people don't
Okay.
even realize, and I'm so excited to talk about this stuff. So, you were number five for season three pointers, right? You ranked number five. For your career, ranked number four uh, for field goals made, 3-point field goals made, and number two. No, wait, no, you were number four for field goals shot, right? Field goal attempts and threes. I'm sorry, and you were ranked number two for 3-point field goals made. Now, for the most threes in a game, we know that Juju broke that record, and we're going to talk about that. You had seven. You're currently ranked number two, but people don't understand that you hit those 7 3-pointers against a certain team that is a big rival of USC's. And when I started doing my research on this, I was like, okay, yeah, Juju, yeah, she broke the record. She beat it. We were playing against Cal Baptist that game, and she hit 9 threes. Okay, she beat the record. But you hit 7 threes against UCLA, right? Was that
Yeah.
game at UCLA or was it at? I don't remember that
It
part.
was at home. It was at home
Yeah,
here at SC. That was my senior year. It was
yeah,
awesome, kind of pivotal moment for me. But think a testament to my story in general and just being born and raised in Los Angeles, really understanding that rivalry
yeah,
to the core of me. And I just was a complete competitor. I told you before, one of my best friends, Jordan Canada, she was on that team, that UCLA
yes,
team. And I grew up playing against a lot of the girls that were on that team. And so when we got in between those lines, it was just basketball. And I was just trying to be the best player that I could for my team, but kind of a full circle moment for me for that to happen in that kind of game my senior year.
yeah. And UCLA had a squad. Not only did they have Jordan Canada, they had Monique Billings, they had Kelly Hayes. I mean, they had a squad that year. Corver,
They
you
were
know.
great. They were
Yeah,
great. If I'm not mistaken, that might have been the year that they made that Elite Eight run. Maybe it was the year after that. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
But really, really good team. They had great chemistry. Jordan and Mo's freshman years when they had that really great freshman class come in. I know a couple people, um, left after that class, but really, really good class. We knew that they would be our direct competitors, but like I said, that SC UCLA rivalry, there's nothing like it. There's nothing
nothing
like it.
like it.
And it's so cool now to be on the coaching side of it and to see where it is and how many eyes are just on the game in general. But for that game to be in LA makes the moment even bigger. So really
Yeah,
cool just to be a part of it as a player, but now a coach as well.
yeah. And just to remind everybody, it doesn't matter who is on what team. When you get a UCLA USC rivalry, that gym is going to be packed. It doesn't matter. You
Totally.
know what I mean? It doesn't matter. But the other thing I want to bring up is what people don't understand either. You were in the top 10 twice for 3-point shots made. And you're also number seven with six. And I don't know if you remember this, but this game was against Albany. And I remember that game. And you hit two 3-point shots in the last 5 seconds of the game. And you guys won that game 68-67. Do you remember that?
It was crazy. It was crazy. That was here at Galen. It was
Yep.
like a Thanksgiving tournament, some kind of
Christmas
uh,
tournament.
Christmas tournament. There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. But I do remember that crazy, um, you know, sequence of events. But basketball is all about, you know, trying to get the swing of things, right? Like get the flow going. And so just try to use that momentum in the most positive way and really cool for those shots to go down. that was such a fun year. I think that was my junior year with
Yeah.
Temi
Yep.
Benlay. She was a
Yeah.
senior too, and I want to say that win might have put us into the top 25,
Yep. It did.
that year. So just a really fun year. Obviously, Jordan Adams, Bree Barrett were on that
Yep.
team as well.
Yep.
Uh, but just brings me back to a really fun time and making big shots in big games, which is what you want to do as a player and as a competitor.
Yeah. And you were MVP of that tournament, by the way. I don't know if you remember that, but yeah.
All right, all
You're,
right. Can do a little something, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. So so you do have your MVP. You need to put your crown on because you do have an MVP in your bucket. So
I
yeah.
appreciate that. I
So
appreciate it.
yeah. And so the other thing I want to talk about before we move on is that Pac-12 tournament, your first year when you guys won. And that year when Coop came in as that was her first year as a coach. So that was a big culture change because did Michael Cooper recruit you? And then
You
Cooper
did.
followed suit. So Michael
Yep,
Cooper was
exactly.
recruiting you. And then Cooper had to recruit you when she got there and she still got you to come. And I'm sure that was a complete culture shift from Michael Cooper, knowing his style, then going to Coop, who's a little bit more controlled, strict, in your face type of coach, so on and so forth. But you guys go through the year of adversity and change, and you make it to that Pac-12 tournament, win 4 games in a row, get to the champion. Well, yeah, get to the championship, win 4 games in a row, and you win. Oh man, I could just imagine the emotions going through all the players because of the year. I mean, that was Casey Herbert's.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a good team. You know what I mean? But all the change and adversity, and you guys still were able to win the Pac-12 tournament that year. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was a whirlwind of emotions, I think, for everyone. More than 75% of the team uh, was recruited by and coached under a different coach. And so it was an adjustment, I think, for everybody coming into it. But one thing that I will say is we had incredible leadership. I mean, Cassie Harberts was um, elite level at being able to um, get everybody under her wing and say, look, like this is what we're going to do. We have a great path. We were really competitive in the conference play with both the Arizona schools, and we knew we had them. We had to go through them first to get through anyone, but just her messaging and her ability to say, um, within our players, within our team, this is what we're doing, this is what we need to focus on, give clarity to each player in terms of their roles and their expectations and what was needed of them. And shoot, we locked in and those 4 days they were insane. Like I'm telling you, we beat Stanford in that semifinal, and I thought it was the championship. I'm a freshman. I'm like, we beat Stanford. Like it can't get
Yeah.
any better than this, right? And so
Yeah.
that Oregon State game, though, in the championship was tough. I mean, they had
Yeah.
all the momentum in the first half, really dominated, the first half, but second
That's when
half,
they had Sidney Weiss, right? Sidney Weiss was on that team.
Lee Weiss was a freshman that year,
Yeah, she's a
but just
freshman.
really good team. Jamie Weisner, Ruth
Yeah.
Hamblin,
Yep.
and they were loaded. And shoot, probably their year to win it, if I'm being honest with you. But we just really looked at each other, just had a gut check kind of experience in that locker room at halftime, and said, we know what we need to do defensively. They don't like the pressure. We needed to ramp that up a little bit, and so. Not only in the half court, but also in the full court. And I really think we were able to change the pace uh, in that game to our
Yeah.
favor. And shoot, I think it was just destiny for us to be able to take it home at the end of it.
Yeah, that was a fun tournament to watch. Now, before I get into your overseas career, I really want you to reflect on your high school and your college days at USC and give me 3 things that you learned and that you take with you every day from your college experience at USC.
I think the first uh, would probably be just be where your feet are, being present. I think that that's a really big one for me. Not to look behind you or not to look too far in front of you, but to just be present in the moment and try to control what you can, if you will, as cliche as it sounds. I think it's really important. And I think it's something that has helped me mentor our young players. Today, I think all of them very high achieving, which is great, and have achieved a lot in their young lives, but they want, that instant success, that instant gratification right away. And
Yeah.
just stay the course and be patient and just make the most of the present moment. I think good things will happen. And
Yeah.
that's something that I try to live by every day. Um, Second thing would be just relationships are everything. I know people say that a lot when you go through your college experience. Oh, you got to network, you got to do this. This is how you're going to get a job, and those things. And I think people really don't understand how important and pivotal it could be in your professional career, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
It's all about who you know and who is going to speak well on your behalf, and how you're showing up in those rooms and presenting yourself. Um, and so I would say that that's probably another big one, just being able to build genuine relationships with people, being your authentic self. And I think good things come to those who have really great relationships and great people around them. Um, last one, hmm. Last one, I would probably say, mm, I would probably just say, just be yourself, kind of be whoever you're meant to be.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, especially young kids, think they have to be something or present themselves in a certain way or act a certain way. And I think the more you can live in your truth and present as your authentic self, the more doors will open to you. And I think, all three of those things kind of go hand in hand a little bit.
Yeah.
But those three things are probably what I live by the most, and probably what has helped me in my young life so far.
Yeah, I think that third one is crucial, especially in today's environment with social media and everything going on. A lot of people are just afraid to be themselves, because they feel like they got to be someone portrayed on social media when they don't. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Your authentic self is the most beautiful part of you that you can ever showcase.
No
You know,
doubt.
so that's why I tell people all the time, just be you. If people are gonna like you, they're gonna like you. If they're not, they're not. But stay true to you. So good advice. I appreciate that. Yeah. So then you leave SC and you decide to go overseas, which I would have never thought you would have went overseas because you just were so introverted to me. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But you decided to go overseas, and how was that for you?
It was a tough choice for me. I knew it would be my only option, playing professional basketball, which is something that I dreamed about since I started. And so, um, really hard decision to have to leave home, leave the nest, go to a different country with, language barrier and all that kind of stuff. But
Alone?
shoot, by myself, all of that. But when the opportunity presents itself to go to Greece, somewhere like Greece, which
Oh
which
yeah.
is probably a vacation destination, for anybody. I kind of jumped at that, and I just thought it was a really good situation for me. I knew there would be two other Americans on our team, and I thought, hopefully if we're friends, which we were. We hit it off right away, which was really cool. But I just thought the more and more I talked with the coaching staff, and just the management of the team, I thought it would be a really, really good fit for me. I also connected with a fellow USC alum who played in Greece as well. Really crazy. She went to Windward, went to SC, and then played professionally in Greece. And so we kind of had similar
Wow.
paths that way. Her name is Haley Dunham.
Yeah.
Just a really good friend to have. But I just cold hit her up and said, hey, I'm thinking about going to Greece. Would love to take you for coffee or lunch or whatever, just to pick your brain and talk about your experience. And that was really what kind of pushed me to go for it. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad I ended up doing it. I only did it for one season, and I knew it wouldn't be a long time, but it was something that I really wanted to check off in terms of my basketball career. And so
Yeah.
I had an incredible experience. I got to travel a ton. We only played one day a week. Um, I was right in the heart of Athens. I think nine,
Wow.
12 teams were in Athens, and so we didn't travel a ton, but I got to see different areas within Athens. My family was able to come out. I mean, it was just incredible experience, top to bottom, and I got to play the game that I love,
Yeah.
uh, and people paid me to do it, and it was definitely a leap of faith, something that wasn't on my bingo card, but I knew if I really wanted to play at that level, that was probably the right move for me, and just really glad I did it. And it was so much fun, probably the most fun I've ever had because there was no pressure. I didn't know anyone, no one knew me, kind of thing. And yeah, just a really, really fun experience for me.
Did you get to go to Santori? I'm just curious.
I did not go to Santorini.
Man.
I know I really wanted to. I did go to Mykonos. I went to Crete. I mean, that was beautiful. A couple different islands in Greece as well, just to play um, other games. It's funny. We were in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Um, well, I guess the second round, we were either playing Mississippi State or Cal. And Cal had really good three-point shooters. One, which was number 21, Cremeely for Cal, really good shooter. I played against
Wait,
her.
Lindsay was coaching that team, right?
No, 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 no. This was this year,
Oh, okay, this year. Okay,
this
okay,
past
yeah.
season. Yeah, this
Okay,
past
okay.
season. So we're all here. Cal's over there. Sharman is over there doing a phenomenal job, by the way.
Yeah.
But Cornelie, one of their best players and definitely best shooters on the team. I played against her when I was in Greece as a player. So it was kind of a weird thing. I saw her playing and me coaching, but just a full circle moment for um, that kind of a experience. But yeah, played in a couple different islands in Greece and got to travel to Paris and a couple other European countries as well. And so really, really fun experience and would recommend anybody that's on the fence to just go for it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it definitely wasn't something I really wanted to do. I didn't want to be away from my family, but I'm glad I did it, looking back on it.
Yeah. So with players now and the W being so, like the league is small still, so there's not that many players on it that can be in the W. What's your advice to kids that do want to play pro but they can't make the W to go overseas because a lot of players are afraid to go overseas and you're saying take a leap of faith, but there are challenges with going overseas too. So what are what's your advice?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to know who you are, how you are as a person. I definitely, you talked about me being introverted. I definitely wasn't the type of person that could be somewhere where I would be totally isolated. I know that there's a lot of experiences that you might get more money, you might get paid more, but I just knew that that was an experience for me. I'm from LA, born and raised out here. I needed the sun, and so going to somewhere really cold, I knew wasn't for me right away. And so I think it's just an ability of knowing yourself, knowing what you like and what you can tolerate. Nothing is going to be the perfect situation,
Yeah.
but understanding, what environments you thrive in and you can do well in, and you can see yourself having success in, and then being able to talk to people that have experienced that as well. I think that that helped me too.
Yeah, I just think, the experiences are big, especially when you're young, to get out and try something new. I mean, I went a different direction. I went into the military and I went overseas and so on and so forth. But probably one of the best experiences I ever had because it forced me to really get outside my comfort zone and
Totally.
learn more about my boundaries and what I could do as a person, would accept, what I wouldn't accept. So I just think it's good for players to just branch out and go see what life has to offer. Never sell yourself short. You know what I'm saying? So
100%, 100%. And then if you can do it playing a game you love and Man, I mean, you pair those two together, it's going to be an incredible opportunity and experience that you'll look back on and say, really glad I was able to do that.
Yeah. Now, you come back and then you get the opportunity to be a grad assistant as for Tara Vanderveer. And I want to touch on that briefly because I just want to understand how you got that role there and the most important thing that you learned from Tara as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think I talked about having great relationships with my coaches at the high school level. Vanessa Nygaard played at Stanford, obviously has really good relationships there with the coaching staff. And I was in between what I wanted to do. I knew I kind of wanted to get into coaching, wasn't totally sure if I was ready yet. And she advised me to work summer camps. So
Hmm.
I sent emails to ops all over the country to see what summer camps that I could work and see what made sense. And one of them was Stanford. It's a really big thing, their youth camp. It's a week long. It's super intense. There's a ton of kids that come. It's a really big deal for them. And so um, their director of ops got back to me, would said would love to have you, and flew out there on my own. Didn't know anybody, didn't know
Wow.
anything, and just worked their camp for that week. I stayed in the dorms, and it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. I'd never been a part of a youth camp that was um, in dorms like that, kind of a sleep away, if you will. But it was really intense. I mean, the kids were serious about it, no matter the level of um, you know, competitiveness. They were there to learn and to get better and develop. And there were other coaches there that were trying to do the same thing in that realm. So met a lot of great people and um, just tried to be the best, I guess, um, court coach I could be at the camp and made a really good impression on Tara, and she offered me an internship with their team. And so went back to LA, thought about it for like 2 hours, I would say.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
So shoot, packed up my car and then drove to Palo Alto, and the rest was kind
Wow.
of history. It was a really, really unique situation. I knew it was only a 1 year deal, but I thought it would be an incredible foundation for my coaching career, whether I wanted to get into it right away or kind of delay it a little bit. But um, really, really cool experience just to be able to see how they operate and how they have for a really long time. Not a lot of coaches in the country have been able to have that sustainability, and so that was
Right.
really cool to see close up and just really understand how they do things. That was actually the first year that they moved from Triangle to Princeton. And so I got to see how they installed an offense and all of that. Just a really cool experience. We had some highs and lows of that year too.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
Tara didn't really want to. She didn't really want to make that move because she was so used to the triangle, right? I mean, that was a big,
exactly.
big challenge for her. Yeah.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
just seeing the personnel that we had, did it fit all the way? I mean, we kind of tried to makeshift some things to really fit the personnel that was on that team. But man, some really good guard play and Brittany McPhee. Kiana Williams was a freshman
Yeah.
that year. We had Dejanay Carrington as well on that team.
Baller.
Um, and some really good post players in Alana Smith. She's on the Minnesota Lynx
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Sharpshooter, can really extend it and some really good post play. And so it was a great year. It was really fun. I learned a lot. Still have great relationships with those people. Tara, Kate, um, Lindy LaRock was on that staff as an assistant coach. She's the head coach at UNLV now.
UNLV. Yeah.
And Tempe Brown is back there as an assistant as well. But just a really good experience. Couldn't have probably asked for a better one as a first time coach, and
Mhm.
really, like I said, just gave me a really great foundation for how I would want to do things just moving forward.
Yeah. So then you get the opportunity to come home.
Yep, it happened really quick, and it was under Coach Track.
Yeah.
Um, who was an incredible coach, had been on his second stint here at USC at the time, and had the opportunity to be a video coordinator, which was great because that was a lot of what I did at Stanford. And so a lot of my experience was, um, built into that. And so really challenged myself in that realm, and just tried to be the best that I could be in the video room, and build relationships, which, is what I said before. I think it's just pivotal, no matter
Yeah,
what role you have on a staff. I think your ability to create relationships with the players, and really get them to understand the game in a different way, get a different perspective, I think is really important. Not only for, just my growth, but theirs as well, you know.
absolutely.
So really, really good opportunity. And the second that I got to come back home, I was like, I'm in. And
Yep. Yeah.
I've kind of been etched in ever since.
Yeah. And then Mark leaves and Lindsay takes over, and Lindsay kept you on staff, and you worked your way up with her too. And now you're an assistant coach. And I want to take a few minutes to talk about you as an assistant coach, because in my opinion, assistant coaches are a pivotal part of the team, because the assistant coaches to me are the ones building the relationships with the player. The head coach manages the team and all that day in and day out, and they implement stuff. But the assistant coaches are so key in implementing relationships and building relationships with the players, and really helping the players through their tough times, through their highs and lows. Help me understand how you've developed your relationship ability with the players, and how it's helped you as an assistant coach just get better.
Mhm. I think, the best thing that I can lean on and that I have to use to my advantage is my experience as a student athlete here at SC, right? I've gone through all of the things that they have, down to the classes that they take. I still joke with them about, oh, this class is really hard. Or, I like this professor. Or, oh, you got to stay away from that professor. Those
Yeah,
kinds of things. And just, everybody at the academic services, from the learning specialists to the tutors. I know all of those people. And so that's been my biggest strength, the fact that I've experienced what they have. And I've really tried to lean into that and use kind of those experiences to help them navigate their own journey. And so that's probably the biggest thing, in terms of starting to build a relationship, starting from there, from my own experience, and how I can help them, um, navigate their own journey. But I think, the biggest thing is that everybody's journey, everybody's path looks different, right? And so, the players that come through my office, there might be something wrong with some person that's completely different than another person. It's all perspective. Um, and I think if you have a relationship and you develop that trust and they know you care from a human perspective, they'll be able to run through a wall, for you, for the program, and kind of um, do the things that they need to do for our team to have successful. And so that's my base. That's my base. It's
yeah,
all about relationships. And sometimes I'll have them come in here. I've got on animation all the time. And so we'll watch that, talk about class, and just different things that aren't totally basketball related.
yeah.
Um, so that I can start to build that, camaraderie that way.
Now, when I had Lindsay on the pod a little while back, right when the portal opened up, I we had a conversation about the Ivies, right, and the difference in coaching the Ivies, a mature group, and then switching to seven freshmen coming in. And that experience, I think, was probably great for you to understand or to see the differences on how to manage that. What do you feel are the key differences are, and how did you manage that whole, going from a mature Ivies group to seven freshmen who want to be on the floor?
Sure. I mean, the experience that the Ivies brought was a ton of maturity, a ton of leadership. They were able to do things on the floor without having to necessarily go through them, in practice or different things. I mean, they just had a level of experience that, um, not a lot of players can come into a program and have. Um, and that was huge, especially for Juju as a freshman
Yeah.
coming into college, wide-eyed, have a ton of expectations. We had incredible leadership from those three guys, and was just really happy for somebody like Ju, who's a young star in the game, and needed those veteran people to help her navigate college and that um, experience and kind of lean on them for advice or um, shoot just shot making ability, like Kenzie Forbes, Caleb Padilla, Caitlin Davis made really, really incredible plays all at different times, but they were when they needed them.
Yeah.
We also need Juju to do Juju, but I think, like I said, their experience in playing in the Ivy League, where that was really competitive as well, helped them kind of get a leg up and understand, what our team needed to do to have success. Now, the following year, going into it with seven freshmen who were all extremely high achieving. I mean, we had multiple All-Americans, multiple USA participants.
Number one
Uh,
recruiting class.
Yep, state championships, all that kind of stuff, right? And
Mm.
so we knew as a staff that we kind of had to shift our mindset. Our practices had to be different. Everything, our team bonding had to be a little bit more. Just everything had to be shifted around, um, just because a lot of these kids were away from home for the first time, and that was different in itself. Um, and so, it was kind of cool to see that process, just with the staff and understanding year to year, it can change.
Yeah.
And it does look different. You can still have success,
Yeah.
right? And so really cool for me to be a part of that and just be in the room to understand the decisions that need to be made, and the approach has to be a lot different, right? And so that was really cool to be a part of. And now, shoot, going into this year, that's going to look completely different,
Yeah.
right? And so now that's just the new landscape of college basketball, and I'm just, grateful to be in the rooms. I feel like I'm learning every day and continuing to grow in that way.
Yeah. How is it working for Coach Lindsay and her philosophy? I mean, you've seen how USC was over the last since you were there. I mean, you've seen it change in a matter of years. I mean, so how is it working or just being a partner to Lindsay Gottlieb and understand her philosophy of culture and what she's done at SC?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I've known Lindsay since I was probably 14, like freshman in high school, freshman, sophomore, and so we went through the recruiting process. I really wanted to go to Cal. I won't get into that story. I'll
Yeah.
let her tell you on another day. But
Yeah.
just had a really good relationship with her throughout, high school. Obviously, I ended up going to um, SC, and then when we kind of split up and she went on to the NBA, I still kept in contact with her. I had a few NBA jobs, interviews, kind of things lined up, and she was always available for me to pick her brain, understand, who's who. She's always in the know, really well connected in that way, but always made time
Yeah.
for me. And I didn't even play for her. And so when I got the opportunity to be able to work under her, um, she's the same way. She's the same way. She really looks out for her people. And I think that that's what separates her from a lot of coaches around the country. She's very player oriented, player first. And I think, people throw out the term players coach a lot. And, sometimes that can be, relationships and off the court, that kind of stuff. But I mean, on the court, if I was a player, I would want to play for her, right? It's all read and react. It's all
Yeah.
what is the defense doing? There's always an action. There's always an action. Every action has a reaction. I'm sorry, and so
Yeah.
that kind of thing, and you can just really be creative out there on the floor with really good spacing. Um, to be able to highlight and showcase what you can do as an individual player. And so, um, it's really cool to be working under her, but also very full circle moment for me, knowing where the program was when I was a player to where it is now. And I always knew that this program could be at this level, be a national, championship contender. It just needed the right leadership, and
Yeah.
he was the perfect person for this job. I mean, we have great support from our administration as well, just in terms of getting her everything that she needs. But she's won at every level, and she's doing it in different ways every year, and it's just
Yes.
really cool to be a part of.
Yeah, I'm excited about this year's team, man. I just think that we are so undervalued and so underrated right now. I mean, you see me going at it on X. I can't wait, because I'm
Yeah.
excited. What are your on court, what's your on the court role right now? What do you specifically coach when it comes to the players?
In particular, my position group is the point guards, the lead guards. I would say I'm in charge of their development. That could be on the court, could be off the court with film, just relationship building in that way. Um, I would say in game, I'm probably looking more defensively than offensively, if I'm being honest with you. I'm in charge of matchups, so you'll see me from time to time kind of standing up, trying to get everybody organized, making sure people know, who they're guarding. Looking at, do we want to switch this up? Do we want to switch a defensive coverage? Just kind of going through Beth for that. She's really given me a lot of reins to um, be able to make decisions, which I appreciate, kind of thrown into the fire that way, but that's how you learn. That's how
Yeah,
you learn. And I
yeah,
think, for her, um, we work really closely together on those kinds of things, and I just tend to watch the game on that side. But I have all the other responsibilities as well, recruiting, scouting, help with different scouting reports for teams, and kind of a jack of all trades in that sense. I'm getting really great experience in all realms of college basketball, and I think year by year I'm getting better and getting more responsibility too, which is really cool.
yeah. When it comes to, before we end, I mean, I want to do a little game before we end, but I have two more questions, and I know we're on time constraints. But when it comes to playing, to coaching these young kids, one of the things that I harp on is kids today, they want to come out and they want to be the number one person on the team. Not everybody's like Juju. I put it like that. What is your biggest challenge to getting these young players to buying in and seeing the importance of their role and that their role is like one of the most important things on the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think just try to get their mentality and their approach to get out of themselves. I think a lot of times, especially, I pointed to the fact that this generation is very high achieving. They haven't had a lot of adversity in their life,
Yeah.
and really don't know yet how to navigate that, and that's okay. And so just try to get them to think outside of themselves and think about the grand scheme of things, right? And our ultimate goal as a competitor, as any competitor, is to win, whether that's winning the day, winning the game, winning the tournament, anything. You just want to win. You want to be able to um, be on the other side of that with a W next to your name. And to be able to do that, what are the things that you can control, um, to influence that, right? And so, for instance, one of our players, Malia Samuels, who I love, I see a lot of myself, um,
Yeah.
in her. Wish I had those legs and that body, but
Yeah. Yeah. She's
another
tough.
thing.
She's a
But
dog.
yeah, she's a dog, but that's what I love, and I think that that's what she brings to our team, and her ability to get in the game, change tempo, really pressure and pick it up defensively, helps our team. It's a small thing that probably people don't notice. If you're really watching though, you can see that is a huge asset, to our team and to our success. And so, like I said, just trying to get them to understand that their role plays into, the bigger scheme of things, which is ultimately trying to win.
Do you want to be a head coach someday?
I do. I do someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someday I'm not in a rush at all. I love where I am right now and feel like I still have my best years, ahead of me in terms of my development, my growth, and working with incredible people that are pouring into me every day as well. And so just trying to take that day by day and continue to get better and hopefully, the right opportunity comes to me when that presents itself. But yeah, definitely one day, but not thinking about it anytime soon.
Yeah, okay. You just look like the head coach type. So, I mean, you wear it well, the way you present yourself, the way, I mean, I see you as a head coach. So,
Appreciate you. We go way back. You mentioned like I've seen the program grow from when I was a player to now, but you have as well. You were in the
yeah,
stands. You've been a fan. That's what people don't understand as well. Like you are a day one. You're a true day one.
yep.
Um, and so when you talk and you give your takes and your opinions, it's not just blowing smoke. It's real knowledge. It's real game, and like I said, we appreciate everything that you're doing in support of our program, one, but just in the game of basketball too, women's basketball. It's growing the game, and I think ultimately that's all what we're trying to do, push that agenda forward.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But like I always like when I had Lexi on, it wasn't about me. It was about Donnie. You guys
Mhm.
love Donnie.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. He's a
Yeah.
day one too, and I can't believe, how big he is, and to see him walk his own path, as well is really cool, and just the fact that I was a small part of his life is really awesome for me.
Yeah, Donnie's something else. Boy, he used to love Courtney Jaco. So anyways, I have a game. Oh, before I get into this game, I just have to ask one more question.
Okay, go for it.
How you feeling about next year's team?
Really excited about next year's team. Really, really excited about next year's team. I think we have a ton of competitive depth, definitely in that wing area, but super dynamic as well, right? You got
Yeah.
Kennedy Smith coming back for year two. She's going to be, much better on both sides of the ball. I think knowing just what she experienced last year and bringing that to this year.
She
Um,
looks slimmer, by the way. She looks like she's trimmed down a little bit.
she really has been all into her physical fitness and just trying to get stronger, faster, all of that, and really take that um, you know, into her own development and put it into her own hands. And she's been working really, really hard and really excited to see her development come through, in year two. But also you're adding some really great guard play in London Jones,
Yep.
sharpshooter from across the way. But I mean, what she's gonna be able to do, obviously spread the floor with her shooting ability. But a lot of people don't know, like she can really handle the ball. She has a tight handle. She can get to the rim. She's small, but really can use her body well. And I think
Yeah.
she'll be a lot more versatile and be able to showcase her full skill set here with our offense and how we run our stuff. You got
That's
Kara
what
Dunn.
Yeah, before you go on to Cara, then I just want to say the one thing that I talked about London Jones, I did film breakdown on her. And I said people don't realize, she's not just a catch and three shoot. She can
Oh, yeah.
take it off the bounce. She can
Yep.
shoot transition. She can play defense. That's, I think we upgraded when we brought her in. She might be small, but she got that short person's complex, which
Totally.
makes her really big. But I think, look, like you said, in y'all's system, she's going to be able to showcase so much of what she couldn't at UCLA. So, okay, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, no, sky's the limit for her and just really excited. I know she's really excited to be able to showcase, a couple different things that she has in her bag. So, Kara Dunn coming from Georgia Tech, all ACC player, really kind of tough, gritty blue collar player, can score at all three levels, but also can get after it defensively. I'm really excited about our defense. I
Yeah.
think we have a lot of people that can guard multiple positions. I think we can be aggressive. I think we can be disruptive, all that kind of stuff. I know Coach B is probably licking her chops in her office over there, getting ready to figure out how we're going to game plan and different things like that. But we're really long. We're athletic. We're dynamic. And so, yeah, really excited about next year's team. And I know we start workout soon here. And so, excited to see us on the floor for the first time together and just develop throughout the summer.
Yeah. Okay. I want to see how good of an assistant coach you are
Oh boy.
in, as it relates to Gen Z lingo.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try.
So,
I'm just gonna throw this disclaimer out here. Not the most creative with this kind of stuff, but I'll try. I'm really gonna probably lose some cool points on this one, but let's go for it.
okay. So first we're going to do old school versus new school.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the old school
Okay.
and you're going to tell me what Gen Z is saying.
And
Okay.
this is like a phrase or
Yeah,
something.
a word,
Okay. Okay.
like you'll see, you'll figure it out real quick. Okay.
Alrighty.
Old school, that's dope.
Jesus. Um, that's dope. Like,
Yeah.
I guess
Courtney.
I don't know what they say. That's Riz. I don't know. They could say
I
Riz, something like
That's
that.
fire.
Fire.
Fire. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Courtney, how do you
I
speak
told you
to
I'm bad at this. I threw the
people?
disclaimer out there. That was you
Okay,
that
okay.
wanted to
Okay, okay.
look
Here we go.
over.
Here we go. Here we go. You should get this one. She's fly. You're
I'm terrible at this. I'm terrible at this.
okay. She's giving. That's what it says. She's
He's
giving.
giving. It's
Okay.
giving. I guess I can see.
Okay.
I can see
Okay.
that.
Okay. This is one you should get.
I don't know. You said
Okay.
that
Okay.
last time, TC.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's see.
Okay. You ready? Let's bounce.
Yep. Let's roll. Let's go. We out.
Let's go. We out. Let's dip.
Okay, I can see that too. Let's dip. I was close on that one. I was a little
Okay.
closer.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Um, this should, that was whack.
Like that's weak
Hmm.
or
It's mid.
mid. It's
Yeah.
close.
Okay.
Close. Close.
Okay.
I'm getting closer. I'm getting
Okay. Yeah.
closer.
Word. Word.
Oh my gosh. I'm terrible. Um, no, don't have it. Don't
Bet.
have it.
Bet.
Oh yeah, that's the one right there. You
Okay.
know, when they say these things to me, I know what they're saying. We should have did it the other way around. You should have been the other way, and I could have did it your way.
Okay. 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 Let's see if you know a couple of basketball. Then I'm gonna give you the sentence and you're gonna translate it into
Oh
coaches.
boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Basketball, you should get this, right? Uh, took it to the rack.
Like ah, nope.
She went
Um,
body. She got bodied or she went bodied.
got
Yeah.
bodied.
Okay.
Okay, okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Full court press. You are so
Uh,
bad at this.
I'm terrible. I told you I was gonna be terrible at this. Yeah, no, I don't. Pick up.
Applied pressure. Applied pressure.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah,
Applied
I can see
pressure.
that. I can see that.
Okay, I'm gonna give you now. This one should be easy for you. Okay, I'm gonna give you some Gen Z sentences,
Okay.
and you translate them in the millennial coaches talk or
Okay.
Gen X. Okay,
Okay.
ready? Okay, you paying attention?
I'm paying
Okay.
attention.
She low key carried today. Like respectfully, she put us on her back. Now, what would you say?
She led the team. She put us, she carried us. She led the team. She did
Yep,
everything for us. Yep, that kind of thing.
absolutely. It says she led the team with her performance and energy.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
you ready? We was in sync, like real sisterhood vibes today.
Oh boy. Uh, we were really connected. We were really connected.
Yeah, yeah. That you're getting it. It's your
Yeah,
club that says the team chemistry was excellent. Everyone played connected.
there
See,
we go.
see, you
All
got it.
right. All right.
You're
There you
doing
go.
good. You're doing good. Okay, I'll give you one more before I let you go. Shorty was eating, no crumbs, straight buffet.
She she killed it. She killed everybody that was trying to guard her, kind of, I guess.
Well, that's what you would say, but it says she dominated, was efficient, aggressive, and controlled the game.
All right. Oh yeah.
There you go.
All
Coach
right.
Jaco, you are terrible at understanding Gen Z language.
I am. I am. But when it comes at me, like I said, I know the gist of what it is, but I couldn't explain it to you. But
Yeah,
as long as I'm understanding what they're saying, we're good. We're
it's
good.
all good. Hey, I appreciate you taking time to sit and chat with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to talking to you soon. See you soon.
All right. I appreciate you having me and
Hey, thank you so much and fight on.
right on, baby.